It's been a few days since we've had a video on Dallas Mavericks today, and in that time, Luka Doncic became a daddy for the second time. Congrats to Devin Booker for now being a big brother because his little sister Gabriella has been born. That's obviously a joke, tongue-in-cheek, because Luka is Devin Booker's daddy. But hey, in all seriousness, congrats to Luka and his fiancée. They kept this under wraps, Coop.
Nobody
and
knew.
I don't blame them because
Absolutely.
Luka's in the spotlight enough as it is.
Yeah, it's awesome. He only missed that one game and, gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. So congrats to Luka. Congrats to Dante Exum as well. Both the Mavs having lots of kids around here lately.
Listen, a lot of new Mavs daddies recently. That's always awesome. As a father of an almost 8-month-old now, Luka, Dante, if by some tiny chance you're watching this, it's the most special journey you will go on. So congrats to you guys, and best of luck as the first few weeks could be a little tough there. I'm guessing these two have enough resources around them to.
I think they'll be more than fine. But
Yeah.
yes, congrats to the new Mavs dads, and we did have a new Luka mode unlocked. Daddy Luka, he went off against the Oklahoma City Thunder. That game was a little crazy. The Mavs were down 24. Luka brought them all the way back to up 6. He scored
30-0 run.
30-0 run, and the Mavs still ended up losing, but Luka absolutely went off in this game, and one of the most historic games of his career.
Yeah, he was really good in that first game after becoming a dad, 36, 15, and 18. I mean, it wasn't the 60-point triple-double or whatever that was last year. Almost was it a triple-double?
That was against the Knicks. I don't remember if it was a triple-double or
60-piece, whatever that was. But he was really good. And look, while we're obviously talking about the excitement of him becoming a dad and all that stuff, and how good he was in this game, and I don't want to downplay that, the Mavs are kind of in a funk all of a sudden,
For
Coop.
sure.
They're not playing great basketball. The defense is a problem. They started out hot. There's going to be ebbs and flows of an 82-game season. We all understand that, but it'd be nice to go on a little streak again here to kind of expand further above 500 than they currently sit at 11-8 right now.
11-8, yeah. And if you take a look at the next 5 games, you have some winnable ones in there.
For
The
sure.
Jazz coming up on Wednesday and Portland on Friday. Those are the games as a result of not making the in-season tournament quarterfinals. So they play those, and then they have the Grizzlies again, who embarrassed them, frankly, last
Yeah.
time. They got embarrassed by the Grizzlies.
That was without Luka.
Yes, no Luka in that game, so you have to come back and win this. And then you have the Lakers and Timberwolves, who are both playing really good ball right now. So you have a stretch here to try to right the ship a little bit. But, yeah, it hasn't been all smooth sailing for the Mavericks.
Yeah, I mean, I look at that Memphis game in particular. Like, that's the third time you play them without Ja Morant. You've split the first 2. You can't lose 2 of 3 when Ja's out. Like, that's just a game you need to go win. In Memphis, Utah at home, they've been a pretty big disappointment this year. Portland is in complete rebuild. I know it's a road game, but that's the game you need to get. I mean, it'd be nice to get the next 3. I mean, they're all
For
gettable, and get the next 3 and maybe split those next 2 after that little 4-1 stretch. That would get you to 15-9 and certainly have you back on the right track.
Yeah, you're feeling a lot better about themselves. And the kind of rule of thumb here in the NBA is, what do you look like around Christmas? That's kind of when teams really start to take shape and you really start to see who the contenders and who the pretenders are. Hopefully the Mavs are contenders, and I think we'll learn a lot about them over the next 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Show Luka some love. Type dad in the comments, and if you're a dad as well, type dad twice to let it be
I love
known.
it.
And I'll be typing dad twice because I'm showing love to Luka, and I am also a dad as well. Congrats to Luka. Congrats to Dante Exum. Don't want to exclude him here either, as they both had children recently. Okay, we are sponsored by Prize Picks on today's show, and Coop and I have been having a blast playing Prize Picks recently. Had college football championship weekend, NFL every week, NBA almost every single night. College hoops is back as well, NHL. PrizePicks.com/CLNS is where you go to sign up. Use code CLNS to get a deposit match up to $100. It's very simple how you play. You pick anywhere from 2 to 6 players, can be in the same sport, different sports, etc. And if they will go for more or less than their stat projections. Coop, what do you have cooked up for us here?
Yeah, a little in-season tournament action tonight. We got the Suns and the Lakers. I got Kevin Durant more than 29 points. I got LeBron more than 26 points. And I got Anthony Davis less than 25.5. I think he'll struggle a little tonight.
He's been a little up and down this year, so I could certainly see that happen. And that is $10 to win 50. You can win up to 25 times your entry with a 6-player entry. The more players you enter, the more bang for your buck. Obviously, tougher to hit on those, so it's kind of a risk-reward situation. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Use our code CLNS to get a deposit match up to $100. Coop, we need to talk about a player who you and I had big expectations for this offseason, and even at one point thought would be this team's sixth man, Jaden Hardy, who just seems to be stuck in the mud here, Coop. He has not played at a high level this year, and honestly, that's led to him not being in this rotation for the most part.
Yeah, and we'll talk about this a little further later, but I think there are a couple of reasons why he hasn't really been in the rotation. Here's what his stats are so far this year. Just 6 points, 38.5% from the field, less than 30% from three on less than 3 attempts. He just really hasn't gotten an opportunity this year, and I think part of the main, I would say the main reason why, is because Tim Hardaway Jr. is still on this roster. If he wasn't on this roster, I think Hardy would be playing a lot more. But the fact that Tim is still here, you have to play him because Tim is better than Hardy, and I think we all know that. It's kind of stunted his growth and development a little bit as a player.
Yeah, and look, that part of it probably isn't fair to Hardy.
It's
but at the same time, when he's gotten his chances, he hasn't played well.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was going to bring up. With Kyrie and Hardaway out versus Oklahoma City, the Mavs started and played Seth Curry 36 minutes. Hardy just played 15 off the bench. He just didn't take his opportunities.
They clearly don't like where he's at right now.
They don't like where he's at, and I'm not sure exactly what it is, whether it's on defense or his on-the-ball IQ and whatnot. But, yeah, he isn't trusted by this coaching staff right now, and that's been shown.
Yeah, and look, I mean, the problem with Jaden Hardy is a couple things. One, he's kind of a tweener on offense. Like, he's not a point guard, but he's not that effective as an off-ball scorer.
Exactly.
So you
need
don't
the
really
ball. Know what he is.
You need the ball in his hand. Like, I've always said this. Like, if he reaches his potential, I think he can be a Monte Ellis type of player in this league, where he's not really a point guard, but he can, run the offense as a scoring first type of player for a second unit, maybe in a starting five, but probably never next to Luka, obviously. But it's not just Tim still being here, Coop. It's Tim's playing well. Like, if Tim wasn't playing well, I think Hardy would give more opportunities, but you got to play Tim. I mean, with Luka and Kyrie here, you're going to play your best players. Like, you're trying to win, and I don't think right now, with the way Jaden Hardy's playing, they feel like he's a winning piece at this exact moment. That doesn't mean he can't be. We've seen him be a really good player early on in his career, but just right now, he's in a bit of a funk.
Yeah, it can change a little bit for sure. I think they still also like Seth Curry as well, so that's another hurdle that Hardy will have to clear. So, I mean, yeah, I don't think it's over for him by any means, but as of right now, I think he's – and it's not fair to compare this, but it's kind of like Christian Wood, where the coaching staff just doesn't trust him to play in these big moments. We've seen it over time. I mean, if they did, he would have played more than 15 minutes without those two guys.
Yeah, and I think what happens now, Coop, is they seemed, and we don't know for sure, but it seemed like they were reluctant to trading him in the offseason for a bigger position of need. I wonder if the door to move him is now open.
Yeah, has that thinking changed within the Mavericks front office? I'm not sure. I think if they were to find a big trade here at the deadline that they think could really push them into contending for the Western Conference, and Hardy had to be involved, I think there would be less hesitancy to do that.
Yeah, because you know what you have in Seth Curry. He can shoot the ball really well. Tim Hardaway, he's up and down, but we know what he brings to the table, and I'm not as let's get Tim out of here as I was this offseason. I mean, he's played some pretty good basketball.
Yeah, he's been good, and by all accounts, he's been a good teammate as well and still seems happy to be with the Mavericks, whereas on media day, he didn't really seem happy to be, but I guess they defined his role, and he's been happy with it so far, and he's played really well this year.
So what do you guys think? You think Jaden Hardy's a Mav next year, type Y for yes, type N for no? I'm not sure he's a Mav past the deadline, if I'm being completely honest, because we said it all offseason, Coop. You have a logjam at that 2 spot, and through almost 20 games, it seems like out of all of them, Seth Curry's been out of the rotation at times too, but it seems like Hardy's the biggest odd man out right now, because when Curry plays, he shoots the ball efficiently. We know that.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I would say no right now, and hopefully that changes because I do like Jaden Hardy, but we'll see what happens. But if we're saying right now, I'm going to type my N for no.
Y for yes, N for no. A couple of injury notes, really just one, plus Dante Exum coming back after having a child. Kyrie Irving back at practice, that's good. It kind of just seems like he's going to have to battle this foot thing all year, Coop.
Yeah, a foot kind of is a thing that doesn't really go away unless you get a significant extended break, and they really can't give Kyrie that right now, so they'll be managing this throughout the season. And then obviously Dante Exum with the birth of his daughter was out, but he is back. Not practicing over the weekend was Grant Williams, Maxi Kleber, and Josh Green. The Josh Green thing is weird, man. I don't think they really know what's going on there. They said he's going to be reevaluated, so we'll see what happens with Green, but it sounds like he could be out for an extended time.
Yeah, I wonder if he's just got like some elbow tendonitis or something like that. We know Kleber's always dealing with stuff. The Grant Williams one, out of all these three, like you really can't afford to lose him too, because you're already thin at kind of that bigger 3-4 type of spot, especially with Kleber being in and out constantly. So you need him back out there. It seemed like he kind of has hit an early season wall, Coop. Like he came out of the gates firing.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Hasn't played as well since. I wonder if he's had a bit of a nagging knee issue over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, hopefully not serious. I think we'll see what the injury report says for tomorrow's game. But hopefully it's not too serious. Maybe he misses 1 or 2 games. The Maxi Kleber thing's weird. He hasn't even been cleared to run yet by doctors. So he's at least a few weeks away at minimum.
Yeah, not great. Not great, Bob. But Mavs back in action against the Jazz tomorrow. That's a big one, Coop. You need to handle them at home, no doubt about it.
Yes, need to handle them. And for you Mavs fans that may not get to go to a couple games, the Mavs are offering $15 tickets because of the last-minute scheduling, trying to fill the building up. So go see a Mavs game.
Go check it out. Cheap tickets. Go over to the AAC. He's Jeffrey Cooperstein. I'm Harrison Graham. We will see you guys soon with more Mavericks coverage.